it out, because stupidity can be outsourcing your intelligence to your wife, giving your power over to the government or to society. That can be stupidity as well, and it's not superstition. Praying to a sky phantom is stupid, but it's not. But superstition really encapsulates that. If you're praying to God as if God is a sky phantom, you're lost, and that's never going to give you any really good results. And look, we've all done it. There are times that I've done it, and I've overcome that. And any vestiges of that are being removed from my life right now as we speak. And so even the last little dregs of dirt of it are being removed from my life. And then, of course, sexual depravity. So I know I got off on a little tangent, so let me go over those again. There are 9 deadly sins that God abhors: sacrifice, struggle, suffering, scarcity, stupidity, slavery, savagery, superstition, and sexual depravity. All right. So let's get right into the 6 ways that you can overcome sexual deviance. Sexual deviance is any time that your sexual life reflects any of those 9 deadly sins. The first way that you can overcome sexual deviance is, first you got to know what it is. And we talked about that. But the first way is to never judge. Never judge. John 7 and Matthew 7 both talk about not judging others. Don't judge others and do not judge yourself. Romans 14 verse 14 and 14 verse 22 both talk about blessed is the man who doesn't condemn what he allows, and also says that if a thing is not unclean to you or not evil to you, it will not be evil in the general sense. So the New Testament gives us plenty of reasons, first of all, not to judge in John and Matthew, and in Mark, I believe, as well. But it also goes into saying that the way that you judge something determines its value to you. So if you take on some of the church's beliefs about fornication or adultery, and you buy into their ideas about it, and you think that's beneficial to you, then this kind of material that I'm sharing with you now, geopolitical Christianity, is not for you, because it's diametrically opposed to the mainstream Christian perspective of things. But the best way to overcome sexual deviance, in our perspective, is not to judge yourself or others. God is not judging you. God is constantly forgiving you, and he has called you his son. And if you continually judge yourself the way that Adam and Eve did, or the way that any of the other people who fell in the Bible did, then you are aligning yourself with a satanic perspective. And that is how we as geopolitical Christians see it. Apex humans don't fear Satan. We don't have a problem with Satan. We don't see Satan as an issue. Satan is like an ant or a mouse to us because we are children of the Most High. We recognize Satan. We know his voice, and we know, meaning his character, because we don't think that Satan's a floating little spirit that talks to you. But we understand that there's a satanic spirit in the world, but we have transcended that because we actually believe what God says about us, and we actually accept the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. We actually accept that. So God is not judging you. You should not judge yourself or others. That's the first way to overcome sexual deviance. Second thing to do is to give your sexual deviance to God and then distract yourself from the issue. So when you accept God's power, he heals you and saves you immediately. Like, before you have called, I will answer. I will answer. While you are speaking, I will hear. The Bible says that. So if you don't want to believe that, and you're part of that Christian majority of suffering savages, stuck in slavery, stuck in superstition, this is not for you. Go somewhere else. But if you are seeking to recognize that you are one of God's chosen ones, when you recognize that there's sexual depravity in your life, you can say, Lord, listen. And of course, we have to talk out and we have to do exercises. It's called ritual, and it's valuable. But imagine a table or an altar. Imagine placing your concern, your sin on there, and imagine God burning it up, taking it away, washing it away, whatever, and then let it go. Something as simple as that. That's just called autosuggestion. It's visualization, if you want to use that cookie term. But it is literally that. When you can do that, you can let it go, you can move on. So things like lust, and the only reason lust is bad is because it's unrequited desire. That's the only reason it's bad for us geopolitical Christians. It's unrequited desire. Fornication, the only reason fornication is bad is because it turns you into because it's a form of idolatry, not because it's having sex before marriage. It has nothing to do with that for us, because we actually look at the roots of these things. Fornication has been completely misinterpreted by the church, but it's really idolatry. It's saying it's a scarcity perspective of God that allows you to go after things that feel like they are going to help you out, as opposed to actually are helping you out, helping you realize your life's mission. Pornography is another form of idolatry, but pornography actually is a form of slavery, and God's children are not slaves. We're not addicted to slavery like pornography, and we're not promoting it or trafficking or anything like that. So what you focus on sticks to you. And so if you are afraid of your lust or angry about fornication or feeling addicted to porn, sit before the throne of grace, sit down in a meditative state, imagine that these sexual deviances took a form. Let's imagine like you sitting there and let's say you have an issue with, you're afraid for your porn addiction, okay? And then so you imagine that it took a form. Okay, maybe it looks like a dirty sock or a mountain of sticks or something, whatever comes to mind. You place that before the Almighty. Imagine an infinite throne, and you place that in front of the Almighty on an altar, and you pray for God to take that away from you. And you can imagine a fire coming out of heaven to burn it up. You can imagine water washing down from the sky, whatever. But it takes it away and releases you, and then truly, genuinely let it go. Distract yourself, watch a video, play a video game, go on a hike, work out, eat some beautiful, delicious food, nutritious food, but give it to God and distract yourself from the issue. The third thing you must do to overcome sexual deviance is recognize the feminization of your spirit and your mind. As men, specifically, and I'm not talking to women, because you need to be feminized. Men have been feminized. Our sexual sovereignty has been undermined because women are they are the lords and they are ladies that dominate the sexual realm. God has given women dominion over the sexual realm. He gave that to women, period. When Eve was created, she was the one who had dominion over the sexual realm. Adam had dominion over the physical realm, the animals, the trees, the earth, all that stuff. It was his job. He went to work the moment he was created to name the animals and to set up the life for Eve. And that shows how us men should do things. We should make sure that we create an exceptional world for our queen, our empress, to come into our life. There's absolutely no way that a woman should come into your life when it's disheveled and not together. You have to be on your game. You got to be at the top of your game before you even let a woman into your life, because the woman that comes to your life when you're not on your game is not going to be the best woman for you. Now, obviously, there are women that are going to come, God's going to bring to your life to help you build, and those will be empire builders like Cristiano Ronaldo. Anyway, that football player. His wife was with him in the hard times. The MMA fighter with the beard from Ireland. His wife was with him in the hard times, okay? But these are apex females that were sent to them to help them build their empires. And God can do the same for you. But you must recognize and release the feminization of your sovereign sexuality as a man. We have been taught that having sex outside of marriage is wrong for us. Having, sex before marriage is wrong for us. And all these things, and this is not true. This is just not true for a apex male or a geopolitical Christian man. Now, if you're an Episcopalian or an Adventist or Methodist or Baptist, okay, live by that, okay, if you really want to do that. But look around you and you see lots of frustrated men who are sleeping on their couches, even though they're providing all the food, the shelter, the protection, the spiritual provision. They're making sure the kids respect the mom, and they're sleeping on the couch because of her trauma. I'm just saying, never ever force yourself into a woman's experience, ever, 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 ever. That is satanic. That's what the church does, okay? Don't do that. Just recognize, okay, I'm not being fed here. I'm going to go somewhere else. It's that simple. You don't steal food when you're not being fed somewhere. You go where there's food for you, all right? And that's an intelligent approach. So recognize when you've been feminized. Adopt an apex masculinity and an apex mind frame, because you are a man of God. If you're not a man of God, you don't get that, that's okay. This is not for you. Go somewhere else, all right? So, and the fourth thing that you can do to change how you see yourself is, the fourth thing you do to overcome sexual deviance is change how you see yourself. Change how you see yourself. See yourself as a son of the Most High, not some useless schlep. Carry yourself as a son of the Most High. You are a son of the Most High. Never, ever, ever allow yourself to be a victim, to be a crybaby, to be vaginal, to be stupid and silly and savage and all that stuff. You deserve better if you're a son of the Most High. Again, not forcing anything on you. If you don't believe you're a son of the Most High, this triggers you. Go somewhere else. You don't belong here. Go home to mommy. All right? All right. And the fifth thing that you can do to overcome sexual deviance is to only entertain those who match your elite status. That means apex masculinity, right? So that means men of God. You've got to surround yourself with men of God. Men of God does not mean guys that go to church and talk Jesus and wear MAGA hats. These are not men of God, okay? You can act and pretend and talk words all day long, and it could be a fucking waste of time and absolutely useless. Do not waste your life on that. Any man can act, okay? But men that have to rely on a facade have vaginas. They are trans men, okay? Apex masculinity. Geopolitical Christian men are authentic, have integrity, are virtuous by their nature, and are masculine, okay? So don't hang around with men that just act the part. You know, they grow a big beard and they talk about, Trump, Trump, MAGA. Okay, dude, he just has a vagina because he's going to go home and sleep on a couch. And I know Trump said this. Trump's a real man. He's an apex man. He's an apex man, a geopolitical Christian. He's a man of God. He is chosen by God. He is ordained by God. I love Donald Trump. The thing is, there are a lot of guys that follow him, but they're like little mice, you know, and they're going after the crumbs that are falling off the table of the king. And they'll wear these MAGA hats and grow these MAGA beards or whatever, but then they'll go home and they'll sleep on the couch while their wife goes and bangs some, you know, some real alpha, right? So don't be that guy, okay? Only entertain men who have that elite status as children of the Most High, sons of the Most High. And there are 5 qualities that go with that. Apex masculinity. These men have agency. They have autonomy. They have accountability. And they have authority in their lives. Check out the video I made on that. You'll find it if you really care about this material. And then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th thing you can do, this is the final thing that you must do to overcome sexual deviance, I'm getting into my divine hour, is adopt the 4 pillars of geopolitical Christianity. Geopolitical Christianity. If you want to know what geopolitical Christianity is, like, share, subscribe, comment below. All right. How does commenting below allow me to learn what geopolitical Christianity is? Well, when you do that, you let the algorithm know that you like this content, and it'll feed you more of the content. And perchance, you might subscribe to the channel, find this video, and that's entitled, you know, Men of Apex, whatever, and this stuff. All right, I'm getting down to the point. So adopt the 4 pillars of geopolitical Christianity. Prioritize self-enhancement, harmony, beauty, and liberty. I know, I kind of got off track there. So you've got to adopt the 4 pillars of geopolitical Christianity in order to overcome sexual deviance. And the 4 pillars, I'm going to remind you, are moral objectivism, intrinsic virtue, transcendent self-awareness, rational self-interest. I know those are big words, but guess what? You're a geopolitical Christian now. You're an apex human. You can say these big, long words, and you can understand these big, long words. These are placeholders, though. There's a spirit behind these that you'll be able to pick up on. And so don't worry about it. All right, so prioritize self-enrichment. That starts with moral objectivism. There is a natural order. There is a universal law. It is immutable. This is a form of morality that is based in righteousness. Righteousness of God. God will show you the pathway. Intrinsic virtue. You have God's law written in your heart. That's what intrinsic virtue is. Transcendent self-awareness, you realize that the world is a mirror. It's a reflection of you. The way that you treat those around you is the way you're going to be, it's going to reflect back to you. It's okay to let people go and to let them know and to put up boundaries and sometimes to get in people's ass, okay? But that doesn't mean go overboard, right? You know, there is a balance to this. And then last but not least, rational self-interest. You've got to be rationally selfish. You have to put yourself first. If you don't do that, your family will suffer, the world will suffer, and God won't be able to support you as much because you have shut off the valve of his blessings. So that's what I have to say about that. The 6 ways for you to fight to overcome sexual deviance are: never judge yourself or others. Give that sexual deviance to God. Recognize and release that feminine pattern on your sovereign male sexuality. Then change how you see yourself. Only entertain men and brothers that are part of the Brotherhood of Geopolitical Christianity through Apex Awakening, Agency, Autonomy, Accountability, Authority. And then adopt the 4 pillars of geopolitical Christianity, which allow you to be an exceptional man. Now, if you'd like this material, comment below, say, yeah, hallelujah, Jesus be saved, praised. Sorry, Jesus be praised. And then subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.